Previously on Unranked.
There was a moment, Tom, where I was like, what have I done?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
What have I done? Why did I do
Yeah.
this? Why did I spend
Yeah.
this money? I'm not doing this again. 2-3 weeks from now, if this had happened a few weeks later, this might not have happened. Because I may have just been like, I'll play Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'll play Alan Wake. I'll play Mario Wonder. Yeah.
But
like,
also maybe Mario RPG
yeah.
that's coming out.
Halo's been having a lot of cool updates. I played a little bit of Halo and I enjoy it. The problem is Tuna's, he only plays old Halo. I don't really want to play old Halo.
I got you.
I'm just not going to play it enough to get good at it again.
Mhm.
And I've been needing a game for late at night that's not Walkabout Mini Golf. So I thought about Destiny, and then you talk about the jacket, and then I was like, oh, yeah, that's right, Destiny. And then I was like,
Destiny.
Tom, it's so fun.
Yeah, that's
It's so, the shoot, I forgot how good it is. It's so good. I got to tell you, Tom, I'm back in it, and I really just don't know why I stopped.
Why don't you like old Halo?
Because I'm not gonna play it enough.
Tuna.
I'm not gonna
What do
play
you mean
it
you're not
enough
gonna play it enough?
to be
It's the
good
same-
at it.
It's the same game.
You've been playing it for years. You've
Just
been playing it,
Point and shoot, baby.
but
Point
all
and
of the people
shoot.
that play that game never stop playing that game.
It's
I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in old Halo.
not interested in old
Not
Halo.
interested.
That
I'm
is
over
so
it.
that's so disappointing.
I'll still play it from time to time, maybe for fun if I'm invited, but it's not a game I want to play alone. So I'm not playing old Halo. I'm done with it.
I mean,
This episode-
last year, or no, in the beginning of this year, for whatever reason, I think I probably talked about it on this podcast, I wanted to go for the complete Halo Reach on Legendary in under 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which I did. But
Wow.
that is something that I was like very proud of it. And I'm thinking to myself, this game came out fucking 3 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago. Like, is that cool?
I mean, it could be
Only you
cool.
ask.
This is episode 398 of the Unranked podcast. This is
Almost
Christian
4
Humes.
hundo.
Yeah.
400. We got
Oh
Tom
my
Caswell and
gosh.
Alex Tuna.
Yeah. Hey.
it's been a minute. Let's just
Let's
I
do
think-
it.
yeah, let's just get into it. We've got some Pokemon to talk about. We've got some
do.
video games to talk about. Tuna
We
wasn't
do.
here, so he's got to catch us up.
There's really nothing to catch up on. But
Every
Just-
time you say that, then you talk for like 20 minutes about like
well, no,
because you always forget everything that you had to talk about.
Well, he doesn't have that time today because we've committed to
It's true.
making this a short episode. So
yeah.
Although I
so-
do need to get my poo complaint in. That needs to happen.
Yeah,
It'll happen,
everyone
it'll
said it's going to be a
happen.
short episode, but I know for a fact everyone has a lot of stuff they want to talk about. So then
I don't have a lot.
Fucking Bagheera.
it's the 398th Pokemon. Can anyone tell me what it is?
No.
Which
Which does that mean that
Oh.
I get points because that is the correct answer for me?
No points were being allocated for this. Yeah.
It's the final evolution. It's Staraptor.
Yes, it is. It's Star
Oh.
Raptor. So it's Starly,
Oh,
Staravia.
So it's like
no,
it's
Star
like
Raptor.
the 50s hair looking bird.
It's the emo bird.
I'm all
Emo
shook
bird.
up. Oh.
Oh,
You know what? You know what's really funny? Real quick tangent.
Mhm.
Because of the strike, the SAG strike, actors can't dress for Halloween as like characters in movies. Like you can't do Barbie, you can't do Ken.
right.
However, A24 has an Elvis movie coming out, and A24 did agree to SAG's contract. So
Mhm.
actors can work on A24 movies, they can promote them. So you can dress as Elvis from A24's Elvis. You cannot dress as Elvis from the Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie. So if anyone out there that's listening to this is SAG, just want to clarify and clear that up for you. If you were thinking about
Mhm.
doing Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, you do have a loophole. You can go as Elvis from the Priscilla film. From
There's
A24.
there's a good loophole for the Barbie. You just dress up as Taylor
Goes with a
Swift.
toy. There you go.
Right? Dress up as Taylor Swift from the
Mhm.
Eras tour. Boom.
Mhm.
Then people will be like, "Oh, Barbie!" Like, no, Taylor Swift. And it's like, hey, you're
No.
fucking Barbie. I know what you're doing here. This Pokemon, my boys.
Yep.
This is a good Pokemon.
Yeah.
This is, as far as strength goes,
Oh.
the best at this point bird Pokemon. In fact, it's probably one of the few bird Pokemon in the series, like, you know, early birds, not like legendaries or anything, that
They
are
catch the
worth like
worm.
carrying through to the end of the game.
They catch the worm.
This Pokemon
Interesting.
has something that no other normal flying type bird Pokemon has. So all those Pokemon have no way to counter rock or steel types, but Staraptor can learn 120 battle point. That's the attack power. Fighting type move.
Wow.
No other bird Pokemon can do that. That's a normal flying without being like a, you know, like a Hawlucha, who's also like a flying, like fighting type Pokemon.
Oh, that's a cool one. I can't wait to get to him. He's cool.
Yeah. So this Pokemon is really strong. It has that one. It has another attack as well, which is also at 120 battle points. And these are normal evolution, like learned attacks. These aren't like, you know, you have to give it a TM for it to learn it. It's very powerful. It's very useful in the end game, which is rare. So although it might not have an interesting typing, it's actually useful, which I think is pretty cool. How about that name? Can you tell me about that name?
That's here.
Yes, I can. Well, give me a second. I forgot that I do this. So
you've been gone for so long.
I know. Don't ask me why I forgot that I do this. Okay. Name origin. Oh, Staraptor is
definitively
a combination of starling and raptor, a predatory bird, in case you didn't know.
A predatory bird.
That's
bird
what it says.
Prey.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Even the word raptor means bird
Wait,
of prey.
what's Muckahawk?
Oh, that's true. I did knew that one. What?
Is Muckahawk something?
That's the Japanese name.
It's probably the Japanese name, yeah.
Oh, forget it then.
Yeah, that's the and the Japanese name essentially translates to the same kind of thing. So
wow, I've never seen this. The trivia is just one thing. It was
given last week. It was the same for its previous evolution.
Well, then it's the same thing this time. The English names were given by Nob Ogasawa.
Knob.
all right.
Look, I don't know. I barely pronounce English words correctly, so
that's
like,
true.
give me a break.
Yeah,
this Pokemon actually has
might
a good
be their name.
Pokedex entry because it's strong. That is also canonically a part of the Pokemon's nature. So Pokemon Diamond, it has a savage nature. It will courageously challenge foes that are much larger. Pokemon Pearl says the muscles in its wings and legs are strong. It can easily fly while gripping a small Pokemon.
Right.
And then Platinum, it never stops attacking, even if it's injured. It fusses over the shape of its comb, its hair. So this Pokemon will fuck your shit up, is basically what they're saying.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I'm down for it. I'm glad that we're ending on a high note.
Yes.
Honestly, the start of this gen,
it's very strong.
Better than all of last gen.
Very strong.
Yeah. Let me tell you, so just to go back really quick to the pronunciation of words. This may be controversial. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. But when I watch Japanese anime, okay, and they have Japanese names, okay, because they are not names that I hear regularly, it can be, when I start an anime, very hard
to follow,
to keep up with
100%.
who is who.
100%.
In the sense that when a show has like John and Michael, like that, I've heard those names my entire life, so it's so easy to know who they are. So do you guys experience the same thing, or
100%?
Absolutely.
Like My Hero Academia is for me, especially when they use nicknames too. Very was not now, but was very hard to follow who was who name wise in the beginning, and I had to really just go based on what their powers were.
The hardest one for me has been Jujutsu Kaisen, because all of their names are overly long. You have characters who show up for an episode and are referenced consistently, but like aren't in it. And then the thing is like the main, like the mentor of the show and the villain, that one's name is Satoru Gojo, the other one is Sagaru Gato, and
God.
they're always like it's Jujutsu is the worst one. I'm still really struggling to figure that one out. But yeah, no, totally. When I start a show, One Piece actually has probably been the easiest one because I'm so familiar with those characters already, like tangentially, and then I think having the live action really helped. And they're not like Japanese names, like they're more like anglicized names. So
the last name first though is the thing that messes with me. Because like Todoroki is just like that's not his first name, it's Shoto. Right. So like I would forget that, and every now and then you'd hear the first name and I'd be like, wait, who are they talking about?
That is a problem when it's like in the real world, like people refer to people as like with their last names and then first names, but they do it in the show. But I'm like, I wish you could just stick with one, because My Hero for a while was tough.
But like Luffy, they do they do the same thing in One Piece. It's Monkey D. Luffy, like Monkey D. Garp, but it's actually Garp is the first name and Luffy is the first name. But that threw me off for a while, just because I'm an idiot. So what are you gonna do?
No,
well, we know that.
Alex, let's begin with you. You missed last week.
I did.
Give us the highlights.
Really, no highlights other than did we do anything?
I already know this is a lie.
Why?
Because I already know you did something interesting.
What did I do?
Well, we've been playing a lot of golf.
Okay, that's true. But like that's really like the conversation between me and you. So not really.
And so what did you go do this last week? In real life.
Oh, that's
it's unbelievable that I remember your own life better than you.
Right. So on Monday I went to a golf outing with my stepdad, who is not really my stepdad, but close enough. Just because my mom and him are not married. But anyway,
your mom's boyfriend.
My mom's boyfriend, 70-year-old boyfriend. So we went to a golf outing for his firehouse here on Long Island. We went to the Inwood course by JFK Airport. Had a few good shots, mostly bad shots. My putt game was very good, I would say.
So you played a round of golf.
I played a real round of 18-hole golf.
I texted him. I go, little Rolf today, little VR golf, and he just sends me a picture on the links. Goes, playing IRL.
I'm like, real life, baby. So the putt game is pretty good. I would say Walkabout Mini Golf has really
improved your game. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Tom, everyone says it. They say that the physics for the putting is like very real. Like the nonsense.
I mean, I wish my putts in real life were as straight as the ones I hit in Walkabout Mini Golf.
That's why I need that putter.
Right. So anyway, so that was good. That was fun times. In terms of just regular old life, still watching Big Brother. Love that show. Survivor.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, let's take a detour because I got nothing else really.
Let's not spend too much time on it.
No,
because I don't know how many listeners watch it.
No, but there is nothing more to say than what the hell is going on.
Yep.
And not in like a good way. Like
not in a good way. No.
This is so disappointing to watch. I think it has its moments this season, and I think like something that I like that they've continued is like, let's have a character that we know you're going to dislike from the jump, and they're slowly going to grow on you. Like Emily is growing on me as like a character.
Yep, Emily is growing on me as well.
But I'm if I had to, she's in my top 3 for winning this game now.
Yeah, she's totally going to make it.
She's
going to the end now.
I really like Caleb.
Skipped. Yep, I like Caleb too.
Yep.
No, this season had a very interesting. I mean, this happens sometimes where one tribe gets absolutely decimated. Yep. And that kind of sucks from a viewing standpoint, because they're whittling down, and then you have to mix them up. You have to mix the tribes up because there's no choice. And then you kind of do luck of the draw with the tribe mix up, and you get some dynamics.
The tribe shuffle, personally.
No, I like it too, but I'm saying sometimes the tribe shuffle can be bad. Sometimes it cannot. But this season, especially now, we've had, I mean, spoilers, 50% of the people who have left. I would almost argue 75% with Brandon.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, because there is a Brando.
There is a Brando. Yeah.
So I can't even give him a nickname because somebody already took it. But 50% for sure, 75% maybe have taken themselves out of the game. So it's like, what am I watching? Like, what is it like? What's happening? Is the casting director, are these people not being vetted? I don't like.
It's red
is it
meat
just
for
worse?
the Gen Xers and the Zoomers.
I know.
And the
I was
boomers.
like,
It's red meat.
Tuna's friend group is going off right now. I was like, I would love to be a fly on the wall of that fucking chat you guys have every week. What annoyed me about this week
particular
is that there was no hint,
nothing. It's
no
like he
hint.
made the decision like right there.
And
like,
I was like, you're really gonna
like,
do this? You're really gonna do this to these other teammates who you have been like, I will do anything to, like, I will be the pawn, I will be the thing. And then out of the blue, he has the story that you think is going like, this is why I want to be here. This is why I want to continue to fight. And he has this emotional story and he goes, and that's why I would like to leave the game.
Right.
Yeah. And I actually was seeing interviews with him because a lot of outlets
You can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that was.
Big.
Right.
That's what that was.
Big energy. He does say he regrets doing that. I think it was a very much like heat of the moment, like just gave into the emotions of it all.
At least he got voted out.
At least that, well, because that does set up an at least we got like the interesting twist of like, well, someone didn't vote him out,
someone
and they
fucked
wrote
up
someone else's name, and now yeah, so that does have an interesting setup, which I like. But yeah, man, like it's just so disappointing. And there was promise with last week's tribal, because I thought the blind side last week was expertly carried out and was like a beautiful thing, reaction and everything. And yeah, it's wet fucking fart.
Yeah,
seriously.
I'm very excited for that. Like nighttime, we just got back from tribal start next week because you got an angry Sifu with his axe walking around out there,
right,
with his fucking machete.
Well, also,
but he uses it as a guitar, so I call it his axe.
Right.
Oh good.
He is. He is something else. But like, it's almost like you've now changed it to an hour and a half. You're gonna make me sit here for an hour and a half, right?
Well, I love the hour and a half.
Not if you have don't have ads, because
I love the hour and a half.
No, I'm not a fan. It's a little too long. I hate the fact that they created an opening. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I'm huge on it. I love it because I feel like the last two seasons, since the series is shorter now, we didn't get enough time to see the other teams. And it was like, if you went back and rewatched them, they basically just had to focus on like the 3 winners of the show, like the whole time, because there wasn't enough time to spread between people. Now I feel like it's harder to read who's actually going to be the winner at the end, because we're getting to see enough of each tribe every episode, and I don't think you could do that in an hour. So I don't know. I think it's good.
We're still in this phase of like whittling out the wheat from the chaff, and it's just going on too long. And I think like the length of the episodes doesn't help with that feeling of like, we're not really getting to like good gameplay. Like a lot of these people are just kind of stumbling through things. I also think that one of the things that really seems to be tripping people up, and it's from these later seasons, is that they're not authentically playing the game. They're playing it based on what they've watched, which is, as I've come to learn, like incredibly different from what is actually happening on the ground. And so people will be try to be making moves too early.
Yeah.
Like they'll be trying to do all these things that like don't make sense in the context of what is happening around them. And I think we're just seeing like a lot of stumbling, and like, yeah, the length of the episodes doesn't help for me with that. Still enjoying it. There's a couple of great characters on there, and definitely some people coming in the front, but man, yeah, I hated how this last episode ended.
Oh, I mean,
no, I mean, the best episode of the season was last episode where she's melting the idol in the wax. I mean, it was perfect.
Getting up after
setup.
Every sentence. Like, let me just double check.
Jeff, I would say visibly, I think, annoyed that his tribal was being like totally fucked with while she did this whole melting of the wax.
I'll be honest, the previous episode, I was like, why didn't she just throw it right into the fire? I would have done it.
I wouldn't have made it. I would have done a sneaky thing though. You know, I would have just
Jeff
been like
would
a
have still
little-
been like, "Hey, what's that?"
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Jeff.
And I would've been like,
I always feel
yeah,
like Jeff kind of
nothing.
calls out stuff where he's like, "So, how does it feel? You're on the bottom. I mean, you're the easy vote out." It's like, dude, like I get that
Yeah.
you're calling attention to it, and I get you got to comment on the whole thing, but you know, maybe that wasn't. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs and what Jeff knows and what Jeff doesn't.
But those tribals are like notoriously an hour, 2 hours, sometimes long. So like we see that question and we've maybe missed 45 minutes of things that have pointed that out already.
Wait, how long
So-
are the tribals?
Sometimes they've gone hours long, people say, like if you listen to it. So that's part of why he can ask those
wild.
questions.
I did not know that.
I don't think he does that, Alex, unless it's basically been pointed out during the conversation.
Well, that was what I was saying. I don't know how much Jeff knows. Like I know he's executive producer. I think in the beginning he wasn't. He was just host. But like I don't know how much the people who are watching. But that's the thing to me. Like, would you want to? I get. Well, he's yeah. All right. Well, because remember we watched The Mole. Didn't Anderson Cooper say that like he did not know who the mole was even in the beginning, or is that wrong?
Yeah, but he still knew what the dynamics of the group were. So like there would be episodes where he'd be like, "So something happened."
So he knew what
guys.
happened.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
Because that's his job, is to ask the interesting questions. He can't ask them if you're in the dark.
Also true. Good point.
So I love it. I hear what you're saying. You guys want less sloppy stuff, but I kind of like the unpredictability about it. I think all these people suck. I totally agree with you guys that they're terrible at it. However, I don't feel like we've ever seen this before. And so for that reason alone, I'm enjoying it because I'm like, oh, I couldn't have anticipated several things that have happened because they're all so stupid. That it also makes it difficult for other people to play the game because they're like, all right, I've got a sweet move, but I'm working with just a bunch of blind rats running around, and like, how am I supposed to do anything? I can't.
Great.
Herd these sheep.
There was a great bit from this week's episode, though. Is her name Katura, the person who can't stand Bruce?
Oh, I can't stand her.
Bruce.
I can't stand her.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with her. I'm kind of whatever on her.
I don't really like.
She's making a mountain out of a molehill. I think she complains more about Bruce than Bruce does anything wrong.
I agree. I agree with both sentiments. I don't really like vibe with Bruce, but like I'm annoyed with how annoyed she is.
Yeah.
But it was funny when it was like cutting and she was just rambling, and then when he pulled the stunt of like I've lost the flint, I was like, what is she gonna say? And it just cut to her face, and I was like, God, I'll tell you this, whatever the season, the editors are just so on top of their game. And like the cinematographers too, like when they got that shot of like Sifu like fucking like putting the machete in the wood. So anyway.
No, but I'm with you. Bruce is the kind of guy that would annoy me, and I probably would be a Katura, like in my confessional, being like, Bruce, man, like this guy got to stop. It is so annoying. Like he's making jokes, he thinks he's funny. Like it's so annoying.
We need to get you out of that
sounds to me like the people that to complain about that kind of stuff are the people that I always find are the ones that are actually the attention hogs, and they're mad that they're not getting the attention. So that's like what everything she's saying screams to me is like
Bruce's actions for me would just be like, oh my, all right, dude. Like, we get it. Like,
he's got big old man energy that like
he's got old, but it's not just the old. What would annoy me the most is any kind of reference or any kind of argument that he has done this before. Sure. I've been in this situation before. You were here for less than 12 hours, bud. Like come on.
However, I agree with that. And I felt like he was an idiot in the first episode for talking like that. But then she was complaining about like the stuff he said, like name dropping. It's like, all the other people that are in your tribe are asking him questions about the people from the previous season. And he's like done interviews with them and talked to them. And like,
no, that's fair. You have to assume that once the way that the world is now, you have to assume that when you get off these shows, depending on how you did, you are, and depending on who liked you, you could have an influencer deal with such and such.
This is why people go on.
I know. Or you could be picked up by other shows. You know, to participate in other shows.
Amazing Race. You do the round
traders.
You do the Amazing Race, and then you go on the challenge, and then you start them.
Yep.
You quit
Survivor
your job
Australia.
Survivor Australia, Survivor this, Survivor that. Big Brother coming on. They got Suri on fucking Big Brother this year. So, you know.
Sandra's going to be on Traders season 2.
Oh my God. Johnny
So,
Fairplay is on a show called Villains right now. Johnny Fairplay hasn't been relevant in fucking 15 something years. He's on a show called Villains right now. He's that relevant still that he's seen as a reality show villain 20 fucking years ago.
amazing. They should get what was that one guy that everyone really hated? And he had like a nephew that was on also.
Oh, Hans.
Yeah, get the Hands family.
Yeah. Well, his nephew, it was either him or his nephew got kicked off Big Brother because of aggression or fighting or something.
Of course. There you go. I want to talk a little bit about mini golf, just really quick.
All right, hit it. Hit
So,
the mini golf. You know, we should have a jingle that's just like a ball being hit and falling into the cup. It's like that was bad.
Is that what
Wait,
it
I could
sounds
probably
That was
honestly, I
bad.
can
That
I
was
could probably
really
just
bad.
capture the audio of the golf ball going in on Walkabout mini
Yeah.
golf.
Oh, do the golf ball going in when you get a birdie
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. That'd be pretty
I
good.
mean, look, we play it enough now where I feel like we talk about it every week.
That's true. Speaking of talking about Walkabout mini golf,
Mm-hmm.
how would you guys like to see
Oh, yes.
the latest shirt?
I'd love
Hit
it
it.
to see.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right. So this is the second of the next week will be the third and final mini
Mhm.
golf themed shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Unranked Walkabout mini golf shirt.
Ooh.
Well, it's the Unranked mini
Oh
golf shirt.
My God, this is so fucking good.
Yeah, that is very good.
Thank you. So yeah, it's the word Unranked, but I've turned each letter into a small little mini golf hole. So you got your own little 8-hole course right here.
You know, it's so funny when you
Okay.
just said that when you were describing it. I was about to say, and in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, I know, I can see it, but I forgot that we have people that don't watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it comes
you
again.
gotta-
It comes in any style you want with shirts, colors,
Go
and stuff.
go.
This is a good one.
This is, I think,
This is a good one.
we have some good shirt. Like I like a lot of the stuff that we put out.
Yeah.
This is a must own. This is so good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have okay, so I have something else I want to share with you.
Uh-oh.
This is a show and tell. We also need
Oh,
a show
boy.
and tell jingle. We need a show and tell jingle.
Okay.
Because this is becoming
Show and tell.
a thing.
You'll go
So I got-
straight to
Definitely
hell.
not that.
I got a hat, a one-piece hat.
We've
It's not
seen
my
this.
Monkey D. Luffy straw hat.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You haven't seen it. It hasn't even arrived yet. It's still in Italy. I got a shipping notification today that
Oh, did you just show me a picture then?
I showed you
Like
a
in the
picture. Yeah.
text? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No one has those yet. They just started sending them out.
All right. All right.
But I should have that for next week's episode. So I got this hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-piece hat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed something, which
Oh boy. Glows
feel
in the
like-
dark.
I feel like you guys need to say.
Oh boy.
This is my Walkabout mini golf
Oh
character.
my god. Yeah.
That
It's,
is
That's
it's
great.
exactly
uncanny.
the
Yeah,
same.
it's you.
That
That
is
is you.
uncanny.
I
That
need
is
to
so
get
good.
some laurels now.
And even if
Yeah,
I
let's
do,
get you a laurel.
look at this. This is amazing.
No.
Yeah.
The backwards
Wow.
hat. It's the
backwards
exact
hat.
same color scheme.
Yeah.
When I saw
like
this
you
hat, I was like,
scanned
"Oh, that's
yourself.
a sick hat. I really want to get it." And then I realized I
Mhm.
was wearing the same color hat in fucking Walkabout mini golf yesterday. When I looked at my avatar, I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Oh my
The
god!"
virtual world is becoming the real world.
Yes.
um
That's awesome.
incredible stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, Walkabout really quick. New level just came out, Tom. You got to get
It's
this.
great. It's great.
Oh, it's a
great.
haunted manor.
Yeah.
It's got like ghosts. There's like some
fantastic.
really creepy. There's
some creepy
actually
stuff.
we actually got jump scared.
Wait,
I
don't
actually got
Okay.
jump scared. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
tell.
Yeah, don't talk. Don't.
There is one thing. So Alex, remember the ghosts that we saw when we zoom out? You could see like the little ghosts like in the house moving around. You were like,
Mhm.
"Oh, there's ghosts." But
Mhm.
remember how we were like, "Oh, I didn't see them in the house." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't see them either, but like I saw them out here." You can't. So you know how we see in the house things flying around as if there's ghosts, but they're invisible?
Mhm.
Those are the ghosts. You can only see the ghosts when you're zoomed out.
Oh,
But the invisible
great.
stuff that's floating around in the house while you're
oh,
in the
that's
game,
so good.
if you do the diorama view, you can actually
Yeah.
see their specters, which is
The
fucking sick.
diorama view that they put, I mean, is amazing. Like this
Yes.
game is honestly amazing. This game is so much fun. It is so like relaxing. It's fun to just be chilling like with like we played with our friend last night too.
Yep.
And it was so much fun. Like it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah. We haven't even scratched the surface. Now that we finally collected everything, we can like really like play the holes and start to get good at them, because including the DLC right now, there's 22 maps in this game, and there's 2 more coming, but each one has a hard mode, which is a nighttime version. And the courses are like, the holes are totally different. Even the ones that are similar, like it is a new course. So there's essentially 44 mini golf courses in this game, which is kind of incredible.
Mm-hmm.
We should tell Tom about the night mode on this thing, though.
Should we, or should we just leave it? No? All right. So the night mode on this is black and white.
Like you're in like the old school Addams Family house.
I love that.
It's fucking sick.
Really, really,
it's very cool.
Really cool. And
it's
the club for this course is also very cool.
Yes.
And
so you've already done everything. You got all the balls, you got the club.
Yeah, look, man, we invited you.
No, I'm not I'm not saying for my own balls and club benefit. I was just like you played enough last night that you've already.
Oh, we did that during the daytime.
And let me tell you something.
Whatever.
The fox hunt, the scavenger hunt for this one was also
the best one.
I'm sure with the Halloween,
the best scavenger hunt that we've played in this game. It was really good.
They're getting a lot more interesting with it. I mean, if you remember, Alex, the previous one, the laser lair, which they worked with the exploding kittens people, that one also had the two of the best scavenger hunts as well. So it's the newer ones. They're putting a lot more effort into it.
Dude,
and
this game could be. You want to talk
so
about? You want to talk about games that go on for years. This game could go on for years. You could keep coming out with courses, baby. I will keep buying them.
Yes.
No problem. I will buy courses for days. I would play this like when Chris is like golf, like I really have to weigh in my head at night whether I want to go to bed or I want to play golf. And it's a tough decision because most of the time I really do want to play golf. But I know that's what we've been playing 9 holes recently, which is pretty good. An 18 hole can take you, like it 45 an hour.
Yeah.
It can take a while.
At least. Yeah. If you're playing solo, you could do it in, under 20 minutes, but it's basically double it if you're doing with 2 people.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And they're going to be releasing, hopefully, the next course comes in December. It's a Meow Wolf course, and it's going to be fucking sick. It looks, the art that they have to promote it looks great. So very excited. I'm just going to say really quick, I saw 2 things in the theater this last week.
Okay.
I saw A Haunting in Venice, which is the 3rd of the, first they had Murder on the Orient Express, then they had Death on the River Nile. Murder on the Orient Express is, I would call, a fine movie. Like if I was giving out a letter grade,
do you think it's fine?
That's a C-tier movie.
Do you think it's fine because you didn't like the story or because of the movie itself? Like, what do you think?
I think the movie itself, I think the pacing was just a little poor. I love the book. I love Agatha Christie. I love the book. I thought the pacing, I think it was a little too slow in a few too many places, and it kind of dragged on a little bit. But I love the story, and that's why, honestly, that's why I'm giving it a C. Whereas Death on the River Nile, I think, is actually slightly worse. But they're both like, it's not as good of a story either, and it has all the same problems. This one, A Haunting in Venice, which I don't remember the book of. I don't know if I ever read it.
I don't think I read it.
It's the best. It's actually like this is a good movie. And all of the reviews, it's significantly higher than the other 2. So I was surprised that we even got the 3rd one, but I see why they did, because they totally got it right this time. The humor works way better. It's under 2 hours. It's like an hour 40. It's like suspenseful. It has a slight horror vibe to it, because it's like, this like haunted sort of like house where they used to like torture children. There's like a murder happens kind of a thing. Like it's kind of dark and scary, but it's still, it's very good. It's very good. It with Knives Out franchise being a thing, I was surprised we got a 3rd one of these, and now I'm glad we did, and I hope we get a 4th. So
feels like he's been spitting them out real quick. I feel like the first one was like last year. Like it's crazy.
Oh no. Death on the River Nile, I think, came out in 2021.
Okay, so it's like every other year he's got these, he's pumping these out. Good for him.
Yeah. It's honestly,
enough
this
content.
one is like, I would recommend this to anyone. And what's great is you don't really have to see the other ones to watch this one.
Right.
So, you know,
No, you should, that was the whole. Isn't that the whole point? Like, even in the books, like she referenced, like I think Hercule Poirot is, you know, his previous adventures are sometimes referenced, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's just
there's some
stories.
connective tissue because the last two, like the last one's like kind of like really like messed with him. So in this one, in this story, he's in a position of like, I've retired, like I've had too much, I'm like too beaten down by this job. And then he gets pulled back into it. Like he is,
and then they
when the
me
story
back
starts,
in.
he's not Hercule Poirot anymore. Like he has to become him again, which I think is part of what works about it. Cause he doesn't come in as this guy who's supposed to be this like all knowing, like amazing detective. And he doesn't have like the same kind of charisma that like Daniel Craig has.
Yep.
But him playing the like apprehensive detective who like doesn't want to be involved, like this worked really well for him. So it was good. Not as good as Taylor Swift Eras Tour. It was amazing. And if you wanted to go see that concert, go see the movie. I cannot recommend it enough. It was
Were people
awesome.
on their feet? Were people standing? Were people singing?
No one was standing. I'm sure everyone was singing, but you know, it was like Dolby Atmos. You can't hear other people, even if they're sitting right next to you. People are like dancing in their seat, kind of a thing. But the audio quality was phenomenal, and it was packed house. It was, I mean, people were, this was the week after it came out. We saw it, and it was still, people were dressing up like they were going to the Taylor Swift concert.
That's unbelievable.
And it was playing on like multiple screens, like every showing all day. Like the theater was still packed a week later for this fucking movie.
This Eras Tour is generating like what they say on something like $4 billion. Like fucking unbelievable.
Yep. It's wild, dude. It's great stuff.
She has she's a god.
Yeah.
She is a god. That's it.
And when you watch it, if you don't see it, I'm sure hopefully it'll be streaming at some point, but like the shots, the production value is so fucking good. I cannot believe the amount of like, they must have had 20 fucking cameras on this thing. And it is so crystal clear. It is right up on her, and her audio is crisp the whole time. So like you hear her like talking to the audience, like it feels like a movie. Like
I don't know if I told you guys this, but when it came out that Taylor Swift was possibly dating Travis Kelce, when word got out that she would be at that game, Britt was like, "We're watching the Chiefs play tonight, right?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean we're watching the Chiefs play tonight? Like, it's Sunday night. We don't watch football. What are you talking about? Like, oh well, Taylor Swift's going to be there." And then we did like an over under, like how many times they're going to cut to Taylor Swift, and I was like, like 10, 11. They cut to her like 17 times. Like it was unbelievable. And the commercials. She's a god. She is the god. She is the equivalent of what gods used to be back then.
Yeah,
God in human form.
Hopefully, she just never runs for office.
Right. I do have a question for Tom. This can be for Chris as well. I just know Tom as a studio. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli?
Studio Ghibli. Yeah.
Studio Ghibli. Yep. They came out. Maybe you already knew this.
Yep.
But they came out with the
English dubcast.
The Boy and the Heron.
Thoughts on the Boy and the Heron English dubcast?
Incredible.
People.
Good cast. I mean, they've never really missed with that dub casts.
No, but I see Bale's back.
Bale's back. He isn't.
Back.
I thought they were having him play the lead, but he isn't. He's like the father of the lead character. I've tried to. I haven't watched the trailer. I haven't watched the trailer.
No, I've watched nothing.
I've seen
people have posted reviews.
You know, that's it.
I've seen a picture as well.
It premiered at TIFF. It premiered at not TIFF. Oh no, it was Toronto. Yeah. It premiered at TIFF already. So, and then I think it had a screening here in New York as well. Advanced screenings will be happening in November. I'm trying to get tickets for those.
I cannot believe how excited I actually am.
I am so stoked
because every movie that I've watched so far has been.
And like a lot of people are saying
so good,
best. So,
but Howl's Moving, I don't know why, like Spirited Away, I really loved, but Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke were just. I loved both of those.
They're amazing.
I really, really did, and I like them more than Spirited Away, which I guess is controversial.
Spirited Away is actually one of my least favorite of his. Not that it's bad, but it's one of those ones.
The music in that one is pretty good. The music in Spirited Away, oh yeah.
I also like Princess Mononoke a lot.
Mononoke
Yeah, no,
is
that one's
best
great,
film,
and I
would
just
say.
really liked Howl's Moving Castle. I
Nor,
really
Nor,
liked it.
Nausicaa, I also. I mean,
Oh yeah, that
all of
one was
his
good.
movies, all of his
That one
movies
was
are
good too.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
no,
unretired again, I think.
supposedly, we'll see. I mean, he is getting older.
Sure that. Yeah.
It took him 10 years to, like, his last movie came out 10 years ago, so we'll see where he goes. Although he smokes a pack a day and is seemingly doing fine. So.
Have you seen George R. Martin?
What about him? Just big
Guy
boy?
hasn't fucking. Last book came out in 2009 or
Oh,
no,
yeah.
11.
11, yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Get your shit
Yeah.
together.
You know, I read an interesting thing about George R. R. Martin,
Oh,
which
boy.
was that. So I didn't know he came from TV.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah.
TV writer before he was a book
Yeah.
writer. And
Mhm.
apparently some people who like write novels and write books have said about how like they don't think he's ever going to finish the story. And not
No, he's not.
because he doesn't want to, but because he can't. Like he made it too big.
It is. I
He
completely
made it
agree.
too big.
There's too many, they point stuff out. I've read some stuff online where they point stuff out that like the same problems with season 7 and 8 of the show are probably what he's dealing with the fact that you've got 30 characters in different areas and you're trying to get them all back to the same spot at the same time. And meanwhile, there's so many threads that you're trying to pull back together that it's almost impossible. You've created a world now that is so big and so diverse, and there's so many people doing so many different things that to bring it back within 2 books is.
Wouldn't it be funny if he
He's
He's just got to
published
do.
it?
He's got to come up with like a warp channel. Don't have the dragons fly back. Find like a magic
A
portal.
magic portal.
You
Yeah.
need a
Yes.
magic portal. That's what
Wouldn't it be
this
funny
guy
if
needs.
he is like, all right, it's published, and you start reading it, and you're like, wait, this is just the script for season 7 of Game of Thrones, beat for beat. So I actually haven't been playing too much. I actually have been spending a lot of time at Brooks Studio because I've been building a shelf unit, which I'll tease right now.
Oh boy.
Because it isn't finished. But I built these shelves for all the retro stuff.
Very
When
cool.
you say you built them,
I bought the wood. I cut the wood.
okay.
Glued
Where
it.
are you cutting the
built them.
wood?
Got it.
Brooks Studio.
Oh, at the studio.
She has
Got
a
it.
saw,
Yes.
circular saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from
Mhm.
scratch, stained.
Sick.
Wow,
lacquered.
very nice.
Sick.
So the retro collection is coming together very nicely, but I wanted to do a little show and tell today. I'm very excited to show these off. I think you guys are gonna like them. I'd already, when we recorded last week, I'd been to Comic-Con for one day already, and then it was Comic-Con the whole weekend. And I took I'd found some things that I liked, and I took some of the like duplicates I had of some games. I had like a original 3DS XL that I didn't need because I still have my new 3DS XL for the collection. So I took some of that stuff, I traded it in, and I spent like $50, and that got on top of the trade-ins I did, and I got a near complete collection of the Game Boy Pokemon games, but the Japanese releases complete in box, not just
complete in box,
baby. So this is Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Pokemon Green they didn't have.
Where did you get this from?
The cartridge at New York Comic Con. There was a booth that had them.
Okay.
So these are actually cheaper than if you were to try and get the American versions complete in box, because Japanese people just take better care of their stuff. And then also gold, silver, and crystal.
Very
and
nice.
the cool thing about the crystal cartridge
is that you can't play it because you don't read Japanese.
Well, that as well, although I am working on that. But on the back of the crystal cartridge, they have this 3D printed on the chip, the Suicune logo, which is not on the American one. So yeah, when I started like listing stuff that I wanted for the collection, I was like, I do want the Japanese original ones because I just love the box art so much.
The box art is cool.
And this guy had a complete collection, and I was like, hey, I've got some stuff to trade. You want to do a 1-for-1 basically? And he was like, yeah. So very happy with those. I actually did some restoration on the boxes as well, just to kind of get them in pristine condition. They're also like much smaller. I don't know if you can tell from like the size, but like this is like 2/3 the size of an American box.
2 times the minus.
What are you
So I
doing
need-
to verify that you're not getting reproductions of stuff? Because that market is like saturated with that.
Sure. I haven't done anything, if I'm being honest.
Hoping to
All
pray.
right.
I mean, looking at least the boxes, I can tell that the boxes are original. And then also, I'm assuming that a lot of these people have done their due diligence. But yeah, I haven't actually done anything beyond that because they were checking the stuff that I had given them.
Sure.
And because and they were like, oh, is this because I had like 2 copies of Pokemon Emerald, so I had traded in Pokemon Emerald, and they were checking to make sure that it wasn't a fake and stuff. So
Sure.
I was like, well, hopefully you're not screwing me over. But yeah, so that's just all that I'm gonna talk about this week. I played a smidge of Spidey, but just the opening. It's very cool. Haven't gone.
I also played a smidge of Mario like an hour before we got on this, and when I smidge, I mean the first level, and it was fun. So
yeah, I was hoping to play Spider-Man last night to talk about today, and
what happened?
Well, I feel great today because I finally got like a good night's sleep and rest. Today's the best I've felt. I got that COVID shot on Monday, and I have felt like shit all week. Last night I went to play Spider-Man. I was sitting there waiting for 9 o'clock to roll around, and I fell asleep on the couch, and then I woke up and went downstairs and went to bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get to play it at all yet, but that's something we'll talk about next week. I did play quite a bit of the new Halo, and I got to tell you guys.
What do you mean the new Halo? You mean like
Halo's
the
back?
Season?
There's a new season. There's new levels. There's new modes. Forge is out of
Destiny
control.
2 is out. Halo is in.
No. Destiny 2 is in still as my single player first person shooter game that I'm just going to keep playing until it's done. But this is the multiplayer because I never used to like the Destiny multiplayer. PvE, sure. Play with players against environment, great. Don't want to play against each other I never liked Crucible. Yeah, it's amazing. Halo has so many levels now, and the player base has jumped up significantly. Also on Steam and on PC.
I'll get back in.
The new shit people are doing in Forge, because now you can use enemy AI as well in Forge, so you can bring like enemies into the game, which is really fucking cool. Someone made a Pokemon stage, and it's a Pokemon stadium.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And they have a thing that looks like a Pokeball. It's like a grenade that they programmed. You put the enemies in them, and you are each like on the other side of the battle stage throwing the enemies into the stage to fight each other as if they were your own Pokemon. People are having like Halo style Pokemon fights. It's fucking crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's really cool. Highly recommend. Check it out. I also downloaded because the other day I was like, I need something to play. I wanted to play something. I was just itching.
Cocoon?
Downloaded Cocoon.
I knew you were going to say
Cocoon.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Cocoon. How'd you know I was going to say Cocoon? It's
because the way you were just saying it. I don't know.
It's fun. I'm about halfway through. It's apparently only about 6 hours long, and it's not really combat. It has that top down look that you might think like, oh, it's going to be
Tuna.
But it's mostly just a puzzle game, which is
I'm all about.
Yep, and it's not a difficult puzzle game, which is nice because the environments are nice and the ambient music is nice. So I'm like, oh, when I'm tired and I want to just like sit and play something, so I don't have anything to watch, just finish up Cocoon.
It strikes a perfect balance between like simplicity and you're not having to think too hard about the puzzles, but when you come up with the solution, you're like, oh, that's really clever. Like it strikes a really, really good balance there. And yeah, it is short. Mario Wonder supposedly really short too.
Like 8 hours probably.
One guy was like, I've done everything there is to do in the game, and I did it in 10 hours.
That's what that game should be.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Between Spidey and people online complaining about Spider-Man being too short, I'm like, you're telling me I can 100% Spider-Man 2 and Wonder in 35 hours? Oh my god,
that's great.
The dream.
Yeah, I saw Spider-Man was under 20 hours, and I was like, I'm in. I'm so fucking pumped for it.
To like 100% too. Like that's the other thing.
T is traveling for work, so later today, I'm going to start Spider-Man, and I'm going to beat it before she gets home. I'm just going to like Other than like if anyone's free to play mini golf, I'm gonna sit upstairs and I'm
Well,
going
what about
to just,
Halo now?
Well, I'm gonna play because I'm just gonna play through Spider-Man.
No, I'm saying
Halo is my multiplayer game that I can play at any time.
Oh, okay.
You know, but like Spider-Man is. I also want to play through Spider-Man so I can move the PlayStation back to my garage because I'm playing mini golf in the living room right now.
All right.
And when the PS5 Pro comes out, then I'll just get one. I'll leave that upstairs, and then I'll have a permanent garage place.
Right.
I do have a show and tell.
I thought we already did this.
Another one.
We also have Tom's complaint.
I know.
We're gonna get to it. It's a quick.
What is this? Stuff you should know?
Oh.
Podcast.
Stuff you should know. The vinyl. They came out. Is it reversed for you? It might be reversed, but
no, it's not.
Oh, okay. They came out with a vinyl, and it's the whole episode is about vinyls.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. The audio quality is so crisp. I yesterday
it looks unopened. What are you talking about? The audio is crisp.
Oh, I protect all my vinyls by slicing the plastic on the side and then leaving it on, and it keeps them them protected. It's like a built-in dust jacket.
I got it. That's before they had dust propellant paper.
Yeah, well,
that was Back to the Future 2 reference, by the way, for anyone. Thank you.
Yeah. No one here loves Back to the Future as much as you.
I mean,
complain. Yeah, I got a complaint for you. I got a complaint for you.
It's an incredible movie. You're right.
You got the complaint jingle, Chris. Can you hit me?
Do I have?
No, Tom. That's for my complaints.
Oh, sorry.
Nice.
There you go. That's my complaint.
That's good.
So I want to preface this before.
That's my complaint jingle.
I want to.
The next time Alex has a complaint, I'm gonna play. That's my complaint jingle.
That's good. That's good. That'll be. I'm sure it will make an appearance in the previously on. But yeah, go ahead.
Before I get into my complaint, I just want to preface this by saying, fully ceiling to floor doors, entirely enclosed toilet cubicles, an improvement over a non-floor to ceiling door.
Yeah. Only a psychopath would disagree with this.
This is ridiculous. I mean, the fact that when I go to the bathroom in any public place and there's these slits everywhere is absolutely insane.
Slits everywhere.
No, it's ridiculous. I'll let my fucking intestines explode out of me before I get in one of those bad boys.
Absolutely ridiculous.
You think I'm gonna go take a shit somewhere without a bidet and with fucking open doors?
Now we're really getting the bougie.
Look, I'm already fucking like. It's like I'm out in the wilderness already without the bidet. You want me to do it fucking in the public? No.
Yeah.
So I just want to preface that I'm not entirely poo-pooing. But that being said,
like you were.
We have been lied to because I'm in the store. I'm doing my business. This is at work, so I have a full. It's a floor to ceiling whole shebang. I hear a coworker of mine use and we're the only two people in the office, so it's like so I know who it is. I know who it is. They know that I'm in there. They get in the other stall.
They couldn't.
And I'm hearing stuff. What is the point? If they're hearing, if I can hear stuff, they can hear stuff. I look, floor to ceiling doors, excellent improvement, but they need to be soundproof. Don't sell me this lie that I'm going to get in here and not have to worry about the sounds.
It blows me away whenever I'm in the bathroom. It was
crystal clear. I was like,
get rid of these bathrooms.
Slits everywhere.
Get rid of
unisex individual bathrooms only. And if you need more space, put the washroom area outside of it. Yeah. So that you can put in multiple of them. Just do that for everything. Do that for everything.
I think it's crazy that there's anyone out there that is making any kind of noise with any kind of like risk that anyone could hear you. Like when I go to the bathroom and it's a public place, I am like, I feel like I'm trying to sneak it.
Yeah,
I have to put my headphones in. I have to put my headphones in.
It's Ethan Hunt slowly lowering. Like you're just like slowly like. Yeah. But I can't
use a toilet in public without noise in my ears. Like I got to put earphones in. I got to put something
Why?
on so,
So
I
you
can
can
just
go
like
full blast without really knowing what's going on.
no, just
like
because
it's
then I
Schrodinger's.
just got to
Full
pretend
blast?
like I'm not in
Schrodinger's
this
shit.
environment.
I gotcha.
I'll put my sunglasses on. Like if I can just
But that's
pretend as if I'm not even here.
he's like blind,
Right.
deaf.
Yeah.
That's like
Plugged
what's
his
his name
nose.
from Big Daddy, right? The kid puts the sunglasses on. He's not there. Julian's not. Julian.
Anyway, so that's my complaint, is that I feel like I've been sold a lie. Whether this was my own like subconscious telling me like you're fine, you're safe, you can go to town, without fear, and to learn that it's all been a lie is really disappointing. So that was my complaint.
It's great.
You got to get some soundproofing on these things. What's the point?
Great.
What's the point?
Yep.
Is there any vital news that we need to do, or can we go right to the mailbag? Because we have some mail that we should really get to.
I don't think we talked about it last week, but the Activision deal is done, and kind of the big news out of that, we're not going to get any Activision games on Game Pass this year. It seems that there's a lot, unlike with Bethesda, where it was like, here's a bunch of Bethesda games. The moment we've signed the papers, this is a much more complicated process. So it's not even just Call of Duty and Diablo. It's like nothing is going to come to Game Pass this year, which, we got plenty of games to play. So
that's how I feel about it. I'm like, that's fine.
But that deal is done. We can stop speculating on whether it's going to get done. And funnily enough, the way that it got done when they signed with the CMA is they sold the streaming rights for Activision games to Ubisoft. So Ubisoft now is in control of where Activision games could get streamed, which legally they could deny Xbox streaming rights for Activision games, which is, not
well, only in the EU.
No, everywhere but the EU. The EU has it's everywhere but the EU. The EU has a special rule now that basically, like, if you buy a game, you can play it on any streaming. They have to support it on every streaming platform.
I say,
or something similar. So it's everywhere but the EU now.
So wait, even in the US, Ubisoft can block it?
Yeah, everywhere but the EU. Yeah.
Guess they'll just have to buy Ubisoft.
They won't do that, but they have the ability to. So it's done. There's weird caveats. There's a lot more to the process. It's almost like the easy part is done now. Now is the hard time. But
all right, just go make the Smash game now.
Make the Smash game.
Look, he said it before. He was like, no one wants an Xbox fighter. That was true. It's not anymore. You bought too many studios that have too many beloved franchises. Just fucking rip off Smash Brothers. Put fucking they got Crash Bandicoot now, right? They got Crash,
Spyro.
They got Halo. They got
Call of Duty people.
They could make a 50-team roster of hits. You can make a 50-team roster.
You could just make an Overwatch fighting game.
Just do it.
Yep.
All right. Email at unrankedpodcast.com or go to our Discord, go to the show notes and go to questions for the pod. If you were offered 3 specific things to never have to pay for again for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Mine are gas, groceries, and video games. Disclaimer, video games do not include consoles or board games. This is from Rogue.
Groceries is definitely number 1.
Yeah, I feel like, how do you not pick groceries, housing, and electricity?
I was going to say electricity. I was going to say electricity was my number 2.
I might pick water, actually. That's going to get real expensive.
But that's groceries, no? In groceries, you go to the grocery store.
I mean, I was thinking about like bathing, cooking, like water for the house.
Okay. I mean, water's already getting fucking expensive.
Can you just bundle it and say utilities?
Utilities. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Rent.
But I think we should. I think
mortgage, utilities.
Yeah, but I think
groceries.
The point. All right, so we already established those. But let's each pick. Yeah, let's each pick one that is a luxury item that you wish you could.
Luxury. Okay.
Spend a ton of money on.
Non-essential.
Non-essential. You don't really need it. Gas, obviously not luxury. So, I would actually really like to have travel be free. Not maybe necessarily now because I can't really go anywhere with a 2-year-old, but when that is done, I can like today, like it would be like something like that. Like I could just go to the airport and go somewhere without having to go through the rigmarole of buying the ticket, and all that. No,
That's good.
Oh,
like that.
I think the process isn't necessarily eliminated. Like it's not. Just
I'm gonna
like,
say
I
it
can
is.
just jump-
I'm gonna
okay.
say that I paid for.
Yeah, he
Like,
got the
super
TSA like
VIP.
Prime
Yeah.
You own
Premium
JFK.
Plus. He's got
I own
TSA Prime Premium Plus.
Yeah, like in that way, because I'm trying
Don't
to
have
think,
to
like, video games.
don't have to go through
Listen,
security.
at LAX, there's a thing you can buy, and
Mhm.
celebrities and athletes and stuff do this, and it
Mhm.
costs, I think, like, I could be wrong, it's either like there's a 5 in it, it's like $5,000 or $15,000. So it's something ridiculous, and that's only for like the year. And there's a whole fucking entrance wing gate that only you have access to, and they will take you up to the flight when it's flight time as well. So you just go in, go out, you don't exit or enter near any other people. That could be included in this.
That's what
so
I'm saying.
that exists.
Like,
That
look,
exists.
if I wanted to say, like, you know what, I'm going to Chris's this weekend for a little bit. Boom,
Come on
right
over.
to the airport, get in the air.
See it, Brent. Yeah.
See it. So that's mine. I was thinking about video games, but I was like, I don't play enough to make it worth it. So
Especially with stuff like Game Pass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's like you could spend like $150 a year on Game Pass, and you have, hundreds of games to play.
Yep.
Yeah, it would have to be travel. I think if we're talking non-essential, like that's a no-brainer. Non-essential otherwise. I mean, non-essential like takeout. Like, are we counting that as like food? Like
That's pretty good.
Groceries. Yeah, that's good.
You'd never have to cook again. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, the grocery you would
takeout.
still, yeah, that's good too.
Takeout or dining, like non-grocery thing.
Yeah, or restaurants or whatever. Yeah, it's good.
I'm going with just lifetime bed jet.
Okay, but you already bought that.
I know, but what happens when it breaks? What if the company doesn't exist
have
anymore?
a lifetime warranty?
Someone's got to repair it. Someone's got to maintain it. Someone's got to pay for it. I would switch to Android before I would give up my bed jet. It is
that statement.
It's necessary, but also realistically, you already said, I think maybe the best one with travel. That's very, very, very good.
Yep,
that is really good.
Prostitutes.
No prostitutes.
Leave it there. Next question.
Next question comes in from Will Brown. Question for Tuna. Rank these video game characters from worst to best based on who would be the best babysitter for your child.
Okay.
Mario, Link, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, and Master Chief. If you need to see these, you can go to the Discord so you can read it.
No, okay. The number one is going to be Master Chief. Just because he is definitely the most responsible, will do everything right by the kid, will inflict discipline if needed, and will follow orders, but will only go off script when he thinks when it's in the best interest of the child. So that's Master Chief right there. Done.
Yep.
Now Link is probably number two. She's not really talking a ton yet, so she's still mastering that English language area, so she doesn't need someone to also talk. They're on the same level. They're right there, baby. They are right there. She actually talks more than he does, so this is good. But he's got the authoritative spunk. And then I would say Mario number three. He's a little goofy. I don't know, he's falling all over himself all the time. And then Crash Bandicoot is, I think, a wrecking ball of a
Sonic also.
Sonic's in there too. Oh, then Sonic I would say is four. He's as irresponsible as Mario, but crazier and a wise ass. So that's another problem. I'm going based on the animated series. And then Crash Bandicoot, just because I don't really know him that well. He's like, I'd have to go to care.com to get his profile because I'm not really familiar with Crash Bandicoot's credentials. So
that's good. Now, Tom, you and I have been asked to critique his list. I think personally, you put a couple things out of order. No way. What? No way.
Tom thinks I nailed it. You think
Link is a fucking threat to anyone that is around him at all times. Have you seen what happens to everyone that is fucking connected to this motherfucker?
I feel like you rehearsed
even keep
this.
Princess Zelda. I absolutely did not. He cannot keep Princess Zelda safe. You know what's going to happen to your child? She's going to get sent to the past. She's going to get fucking lost in time. And then she is going to be in peril left, right, and center. It's never going to end.
Link isn't clumsy, though. He just gets unlucky.
No, he has a demonic force that is like tied to his soul to come after every generation of him. There is no safety around Link. If Link exists in your timeline, you're in trouble because he only shows up when the demons are also showing up. So like Link's presence alone is a threat, is what I guess I would say there.
All right,
you
but
know,
you still agree that Master Chief is number one.
Oh, Master Chief is absolutely number one. I don't think Link is number two. I also don't think he's last because there's some people there that are fucking nuts that you would not want to put above Link because it is a dice roll. It's not like there's going to be something that happens, but there is a good chance something's going to happen.
There's a good chance with Mario's world that Bowser just shows up randomly and just takes everybody and just puts them in the Wonder World.
I think Mario is a worse pick than Link because we saw the Mario movie. Your house is going to be destroyed. Your house is going to be absolutely fucking destroyed if you get Mario. I personally think Sonic should be number two based on the Sonic movie. And here's why. If there's trouble, he picks up that kid. He's on the other side of the country in like 5 minutes. He could just bring you the baby. Bring you the baby. Where's Alex?
Going at that speed, then she's feeling Mach
level. Well, she shows up with like her hair a little flurly.
Okay. not fucking.
It's not like how in The Boys where it's like if their neck isn't supported, like
Yep.
No, because we've seen in the movies. He's done stuff. He's moved people around at super speed, and they're fine.
Yeah.
So I think Sonic should be 2, Link 3, then Mario, and then Crash. Crash is just a psychopath.
Okay.
But Link is
all right.
That's like an omen. It's like a bad omen, like showing up.
All right, fine.
We got 2 left. Epic Neckbeard wants to know, what's the game that you've been the most hyped for, but for some reason, when it came out, you just could never get into? This question brought to you by Starfield.
I don't think I have a game that I wasn't super hyped for and then got it and was like disappointed. Unless, Chris, you can think of something. Here we go.
Remember 2 Human? Yeah,
but we weren't like hyped for that game. Like,
we were kind of excited for it because didn't those people make something that we liked and we were like,
oh, maybe
like it was like the Eternal Darkness team.
Yeah, something. Yeah, okay, fine.
And you were like, that's one of my favorite games of all time, and its co-op is going to be amazing.
This is going to be. We did say, yeah, okay, fine, fair enough.
I mean, that's got to be it for me too.
Yeah.
I mean, Starfield would be my answer. I was my expectations were through the roof not through the roof, but like I really thought that they would. I thought that it wouldn't succumb to all of the concerns. I thought Bethesda would be able to address all the concerns that people had of like it's just too barren. They're using procedural generation. Like, how bad is that going to be? Like, when they talk about Fallout, right? When they talked about, if you listen to them like behind the scenes, they would do walkthroughs in that game, edge to edge on the map, and if a certain amount of time passed, that like nothing fun occurred, like nothing interesting happened, they would mark that point on the map and be like, we have to put something here. And so like they have their previous games do not have that problem. And I just thought, like, I understand that this is a much bigger world, but so many, and I know that they say like, oh, well, it's realistic, right? Like in the grand scheme of the universe, only a few planets are going to have anything interesting to do. And I get that, but that also makes for a largely boring video game. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely say like I was planning on like trying to see everything. Like I thought they'd have hit planets far out in space that have hidden missions that like only if you search for it, like you're gonna find it. And there's just none of that. There's so little.
Yeah.
Granted, over the years there'll be additional content. Mods will improve it. Maybe in 3 years' time it'll be the game it should have been at launch. So often that's the case. But I did not expect to be way more disappointed in Starfield at launch than I was when Cyberpunk hit at launch, because Cyberpunk, for all its faults, still like fundamentally like a solid experience. If you it might not have lived up to expectations, but I didn't feel
when it
like
wasn't broken
my time. Well, I'm talking about like in its primordial form. Like, I mean, yes, if you owned a previous generation console, it was a piece of shit. But like if you had a PC or a modern, you know, it had just got a PS5 or Xbox Series X, the game still ran okay. And Starfield has been a much more disappointing experience. So yeah, I would say Starfield.
There we go. And finally,
Oh, fucking Scarlet and Violet, as well as on my list.
Makilla Gorilla, Unranked
Mm.
Crew. I was wondering if you had a recommendation on another anime I should watch. I recently got back into watching anime. I haven't since I was younger, watching DBZ and Zoids, but I just finished watching all of the ACR of Demon Slayer. I don't to watch all of Demon Slayer, which is an amazing anime, and I can't wait for the next arc. If you haven't seen it, it's a must watch. So just didn't know if you have any recommendations on an anime I should really watch next, or something similar to Demon Slayer. And Chris, I know you're going to recommend One Piece, but that is way too many episodes for me to watch. I started reading the manga of One Piece instead, much faster when going through all the episodes. Thanks, Unranked Crew, and suck it. Let me just comment on that very quickly, because I wanted to say something about One Piece earlier, and then Tom started talking when we were talking about George R.R. Martin. One Piece feels a little bit like what I think you could look at it and be like, oh, this is like what happened with Game of Thrones and George R.R. Martin, is the story, the size of the story got too big that it became too hard to like wrap it all up. And that's why it's still going. Except that is, I can tell you right now, like the creator came out when this last arc ended and the new one started. That was like a little over a year ago, and was like, we are in the final arc. We've got like 3 to 5 years left. The last year and a half has been, every week is better than the last. There hasn't been a chapter before this arc that is even as good as what I'm reading right now. And it is like, every time I think I know what's about to happen in the show, like in this manga, there are things that are being referenced that like go back to like the shit in the East Blue, that go back to like the sub 100 chapters that you didn't even realize were like possibly connected. So like this is like the antithesis of what actually happened with George R.R. Martin and Game of Thrones, whereas George R.R. Martin just kept building the world and didn't know how he's going to bring all these pieces together. Oda somehow has like this incredible library of a brain where he's put all of these things out there, and he is pulling all these strings together and weaving it into like this tapestry. And it is truly one of the greatest pieces of fiction I've ever read in my life. No question. It is unbelievable what is happening in this story. It is so fucking good. And I would say, and this is what I would tell everyone now, read the manga. Don't watch the anime. Read the manga 100%. It would take you a fraction of the time, because a manga is 8 minutes. So it's like reading a couple long books. Like you could read it's probably like reading like 6 long books to read all of One Piece versus watching 1,100 episodes. So you're doing it the right way. Now, as far as anime, what do you guys think?
I mean, I got nothing besides My Hero, but
I figured you'd say Attack.
Attack on Titan, and also the Vinland Saga. Really good. I liked it.
Oh yeah, Brooke really likes Vinland Saga.
I've never seen that. What is that?
Well, Vinland Saga is a very popular manga, old manga, and I guess it's just getting recently adapted. I mean, I'd say watch all the recent hits. I mean, if you like Demon Slayer, you're gonna like any of the other shonen. I think My Hero is probably the closest in tone to Demon Slayer, and definitely lives up to the hype of that show. Attack on Titan is my favorite anime. It's me and Brooke's favorite anime by far. It's a little darker tone. It does have humorous moments, but it is a little bit more dark. If you like the demon element of Demon Slayer, like Jujutsu Kaisen has a lot of similar parallels.
Yeah, that's great.
It's about demons, like powers, like how powers work are kind of similar. Like there's a lot of shared stuff there. Honestly, any of the shonen that is popular right now, you're gonna like. And I would just watch the hits and then go from there. Like that's kind of where we're at, where it's like we watch all of the popular ones. There's this new one called 100 Zom that people really like. I haven't started it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Chainsaw Man too.
Chainsaw Man, yeah.
If you want something in that flavor, but you want like a different meal, go watch Kuroko's Basketball or Haikyuu, because
Right, the
they're
volleyball one.
essentially sports shonens, and the animation quality is so good, and it has the same kind of like feel that like a Dragon Ball does, where they're like training to like win a match, just like training to like win a fight. I don't give a fuck about volleyball, but Haikyuu is one of the coolest things I have ever watched. And like, it's so weird to get like hyped up watching like a fictional sports match, but it's so fucking good. And the thing that I love that Kuroko's Basketball does is they even have a like almost like Super Saiyan powered up mode where no one actually has special abilities, but some of the guys can do what they call getting into the zone. And when that happens, they animate it almost as if like they're like superheroes when they get like in the zone in the game. And it's really fucking cool. So it's a bunch of good shows. All right. Well, I think that about does it for today. So until next time on the Unranked podcast, Alex Marinello. What are you going to do next week, Alex?
Maybe show up, maybe not show up.
All right. I'm going to Christian beats Spider-Man and Super Mario Wonder. And Tom...
Hopefully Tom does the same, but we'll see what happens.
All right. We're going to talk about all that next time. I forgot to check with Matt if he was available, so I didn't send him anything. So until next time, stay unranked.
See ya.
And suck
Suck it.